I'm Jess. I'm the Executive Director of EMA. Welcome to our Market Spotlight on Spain. If you're unfamiliar with EMA, the European Music Managers Alliance, we're an umbrella organization of music managers, trade organizations across Europe, representing over 2,000 members who are predominantly managers across 13 European countries. Market Spotlights here are part of our Empower program, which is a 3-year pilot funded by Creative Europe, in which we focus on education, research, and advocacy and networking. You can find more information about the Empower project, how you might get involved, and what the project actually is, all the details, on our website. Hopefully Aga will just put that in the chat. A few house rules to begin with. We, as I said, as people are coming in, if you don't want to be on the recording, this is a recorded session, then please turn your video off or make sure it stays off. We will be uploading this to YouTube later, so just know that you'll have a chance to watch it if you need to leave early or anything. And other than that, please ask questions at any point. Don't wait till the end, just pop them in the chat and we'll endeavor to get them answered. This session is for you. It's for answering the questions that you want to know about the Spanish market. We have some really wonderful speakers with us here today. I'm so thrilled that they were all able to join us. I will just get you all to give your name and where you work for to begin with. And then we'll just jump straight into a little overview of the Spanish market presented by Soco. Soco, will you just start saying your name and your role?
Sure, thank you, Jess. Thank you all EMA team for having me today. My name is Soco Collado. At present, I'm the Director for Institutional Relations and Communication at PROMUSICAE, which is the organization that is formed by the music producers in Spain, let's say like the IFPA national group in Spain. And I've been working for 23 years in ARTE, which is the Spanish music manager organization that is part of EMA. So I know very well EMA. I have the honor of being part of the executive committee till I moved to PROMUSICAE. So I'm really happy to be here from the other side.
Thanks so much. Marta, could you just let us know who you are and where you work?
Yeah, hi, I'm Marta Pallarès. I'm the head of press of Primavera Sound, a festival that is really well known in UK. We started in 2001 as a festival that happened in Barcelona only. And as per today, we have editions in Barcelona, Porto. We had one new edition in Madrid this year. And now we are waiting for 5 editions in Latin America, which are going to be in Buenos Aires, Bogota, Sao Paulo, and 2 smaller editions in Lima and Asunción. So yes, from a Barcelona festival to going global.
Thanks so much. If we go to César.
Hello, I'm César Guisado. I'm promoter of Monkey Week Festival. That's let's say our biggest event from my company, but we also do other events and productions. The Monkey Week is a showcase festival that has been going on for 15 years. This year we will make our 15th edition. So that's our biggest event of the year and the one that we put more effort during the year, and it's a showcase festival and music conference.
Great, thank you so much. Fernando, if you could quickly introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Fernando Yanes. I work for Last Tour. Last Tour is a company that organizes festivals. We do Bilbao BBK Live, Calamijas, Calorama in Lisbon, and we also organize a Skena Festival. Apart from that, we organize BME, that takes us an international music fair in Bilbao and one in an edition in Bogota. We also are promoters. We do headline shows in Spain, have club in Bilbao and also run some restaurants. So quite a lot of different things.
Great, thanks so much. And Joan? Last but not least, of course.
Hi, I'm Joan. I'm a music manager. I'm a manager at Ground Control Management. It's a small company. We are 4 people. We work with 12 artists, and we've been going on for 10 years. I used to be a booker at the Benicassim Festival, and 4 years ago I quit, or actually I got laid off, and then I'm working full time as a manager, as well as working with César at Monkey Week at the Showcase Festival.
Awesome, thank you so much. So as you can see, we have a good overview of festivals and roles within the industry. So without further ado, we'll introduce you to more of the background of the Spanish music market. And so Soco, if you would like to just give us a quick overview, that would be really great. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Yes, let me share. Okay, can you see it? Well, I hope so.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you. I will try to share quickly some information and figures about the recorded music market in Spain, so you can have a quick picture of it. All the information I'm going to present is published in our website, or you can ask directly to me. I will share my email and the link to our website and everything I'm going to explain. So later on, you can go to all the data, figures, reports, and everything. Quickly, as I said, PROMUSICAE is the music producer organization. We have 108 members, representing more than 90 or 95% of the national and international activity of Spanish recorded music industry here in our country. PROMUSICAE's membership includes all major labels as well as independent music companies covering any music styles. And of course, our main goal is to represent and defend the interest of Spanish music producers, both with the public administration and with the private sector. We develop different services for our members. This is kind of samples. Some of them are open and benefit the whole sector. I'm not going to stop in all of this because it will take too much time, but you can find all the information in our website. To have a look to the market, let's start with a quick overview of the recorded music market structure in Spain last year, in 2022. As you can see, the Spanish recorded music market closed 2022 with total revenues of 162 million euros, with an increase of 2 digits. A total increase of 12 and 43% over 2021, consolidating the growth of the last 5 years. Of course, the digital markets accounts almost 86% of the music consumed in Spain. Over 98% of the digital sale comes from streaming. In Spain, 70 million Spaniards are using audio streaming services platforms in 2022, but of these, 5.2 million did so through premium, which is an increase of 18% more than 2021, but we are still far for the percentage of premium subscription that are managed in other countries with more mature and aware market. In Spain, let's say that audio streaming is mainly consumed by Spotify, but we also have a good presence of Amazon Music and so on. If we have a look to our annual official charts in 2022, we have some conclusions around the artists that are having success in Spain. Of course, Bad Bunny was the leader, the absolute leader last year in album sales, achieving 5 Platinum Awards at the end of the year. Rosalía had top 1 in vinyl sales and 2nd position in album sales. Talking about the songs top, Quevedo with Bizarrap Session, the volume 52 was the top 1 in our song sales charts. And in radio, we have Tacones Rojos by Sebastián Yatra as the most played song in Spain in 2022. Other best-selling international artists last year were Harry Styles, Raúl Alejandro, Sebastián Yatra, Taylor Swift, Mora, Faith, Olivia Rodrigo, Camilo, Dua Lipa, and Daddy Yankee. If we have time enough, we can come back to this with other conclusion about what was the most listened music in Spain in 2022. But I don't want to catch all the time. These are the figures that we have released recently in September with the data of the first half of the year. We continue growing, and of course, we maintain the proportion between physical and streaming market share. I'm not going to stop too much on the data. If we have a look to the music consumer study prepared by IFPA, we have some differences in Spain, or some data to be put on the table. For instance, we have a bigger media of time spent listening music each week, with 20.4 hours a week. For us, we have also a good average in thinking that music is important for mental health. That increased in case of women to 72%. We have 8 and plus genres in the consumption. Of course, in Spain, we have 22 of the people telling that flamenco is one of their favorite genres. Music is the main reason for listening to radio for 77% of the people. And we have the lowest average rate in subscription versus supported streaming consumption. Of course, piracy is also a lack for the Spanish market, because even we are on the media as average, in the case of people, young people, we are over that media with 49% that are listening to music with non-legal platforms. If we analyze about genres, in Spain, we found that pop is the most listened genre, with percentages around 60% between 25 and 55 years old, while reggaeton and Latin music are the most popular genres consumed by young people between 16 and 24 years. PROMUSICAE, in collaboration with AGEDI, which is the collective management society of phonogram and music video producer in Spain, develop weekly the official charts that you will find in this two websites, our official website, promusicae.es and elportaldemusica.es. After my speech, I will put them on the chat. And we have, of course, a top 100 for albums, songs, and vinyls, and also a top 50 for radios. These charts are a good thermometer to measure the music that is successful in Spain, let's say in terms of recorded music. And of course, I invite you to follow up our charts in our website and this music portal. And you can subscribe our newsletters and receive information, so you can have this info every week. We are also the agency who certified Gold and Platinum certification in Spain. Now we are going to present in a few days a new image for this certification, and in El Portal de Música, which is open access, you can find all new releases, charts, and soon, in a few days, you will find also a new section with certification history. So you can find there all the certifications that we give here in Spain. We release periodically reports that you will find in our website for downloading the annual charts, annual figures, of course, all the IFPA reports, the year. In June, we have the radiography for recorded music market in Spain. In September, we have the first semester sales. And in November, we have the music consumer study for Spain. And of course, we have external and institutional relations area, which is very important in PROMUSICAE for lobbying and advocacy. We have good relation with all the public institutions, culture minister, the Spanish Parliament, regional governments, of course, the European Union. And we are members or part of all the Spanish coalitions, like the Federación de la Música de España, the Spanish Music Federation, the Sounds from Spain platform for export music, the recent created Music Academy. So we are part of all the ecosystem in the music industry. And now we are starting our equality area. And I think that's all for the moment.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sorry for taking too much time.
No, it's okay. Just so everybody knows, if you can stop sharing your screen, that's great. Marta needs to leave soon, so we need to go straight into talking about Primavera. And if you have any questions for Primavera, then you need to throw them in the chat right now. Otherwise, they won't get asked. Although she's very kindly said that she'll share her email afterwards in case anyone misses that. Marta, it would be great to chat a little bit more about just introducing Primavera Sound, your role in the event, and how it's grown, its importance within the Spanish scene.
Well, as I said during my first introduction, Primavera was born as a way smaller festival back in 2001. It was in a different venue, which is called Poble Espanyol in Barcelona. And we moved to Parc del Fòrum, this kind of gigantic concrete space that is besides the sea 4 years later, and we have been there since then. The idea is that Primavera Sound was born as an urban festival in comparison to many other festivals that have a camping site. We have always been a festival that is very close to the center of the city. And we were born with this aspiration that I think that it's quite a trend nowadays, that it would be uniqueness. So the idea was to bring people to Spain that you couldn't see anywhere else. Primavera was born combining already pop and rock indie acts and some electronic music, and that has been our main programming line since then. Also then adding, of course, more hip hop with the years, and lately also more reggaeton, Latin sounds, and even K-pop. The idea for Primavera in a perfect day in Parc del Forum would always be that you would be able to see one classic act that has been on your radar forever and you haven't seen yet. I don't know, let's say Laurie Anderson, 2023, let's say. A band that is going to become your next favorite act and you didn't know yet. I remember programming for the first time Fountains DC at Primavera Pro, because we also have a conference and they were in one of the showcases, and then now Fountains DC are known everywhere. The third thing would be something that kind of challenges you, can be some kind of extreme metal act, because we do have those. It could be K-pop, something that challenges you that you wouldn't expect. And the third and the fourth one would be something that makes you have a lot of fun. Let's not forget, this is what is it all about. It should be fun, isn't it? So that's the spirit, and that's what we want to do. In Barcelona, we want to do that. In Buenos Aires, so that's the idea, and that's how we have been growing with the years and with our audience.
Amazing. And so you're really looking, when it comes to booking new artists, for something exciting, maybe something a bit different, something fun. How are you spotting that talent, and what kind of trends are you seeing come through? Like what's exciting for you when it comes to the event?
I think that the cool thing, and probably Fernando is gonna be able to explain that as well. It's about the booking team, you know, it's always about the team, trying to go a little bit against the algorithm. I remember that some years ago, Pitchfork released this report about festivals, and Primavera was the one that ranked the highest on uniqueness, apart from a festival which is called Picaton. With that name, you can understand that obviously very weird and unique festival with acts that you can't see anywhere else. But let's say that after Picaton, we were the second one. So the idea is that we have a very, very diverse team. That's also like my weapon of choice. I'm always talking about diversity on stage and diversity in the teams. So I think that that's essential, to have a very diverse team in age, in taste. Then that leads to a more diverse lineup that in the end is going to cater to different tastes in your audience as well. So I think that's it. That every booker and every person in the company has a very particular taste. Some people are crazy about K-pop, K-reggae, which I just learned about yesterday, and it kind of blew my mind. I mean, it couldn't be more far away from my particular taste, but apparently some people now at the company are crazy about K-reggae. So I think that's it. But we always say that we would like to think that we go a little bit against the algorithm, that you can always find something that you wouldn't expect. And I think that you can only do that with human talent and being way beyond those 20.9 hours that Soco said. Of course, what we do is, I won't say 20.9 a day, but maybe. So it's about listening to lots of music. And of course, there is a lot of data also involved. But let's say that the numbers and figures are not going to be the ones that will tell you directly what to book and what not. It's always about people and really curating something that you think it's the right fit for you.
Amazing. So don't be afraid to stand out when you're messaging Primavera for booking. Like go with it, go with your energy. What, just quickly before I let you go, what time of year do you book for the next year? Like when should people be approaching or really like highlighting what they're doing to Primavera?
Years ago?
just anytime.
Just joking. For smaller acts, of course, bookers are already making the lower parts of the festival. We always release everything at the same time because we always say that this is what makes sense to us. There's no small print in there. And we always try to have some kind of concept. Everything makes sense to us as a whole. But big acts are usually booked, let's say 2 years in advance. So maybe in 2022, we were already talking with people for 2024 because, you know, everything is such a huge ecosystem that you know that this artist is going to be recording something the next year, meaning that that artist is going to be touring 2 years after that. But usually, let's say it's a year in advance. So right now, the HQ are bubbling with new names. We are preparing the lineup for 2023 to be released shortly if we can before the end of the year. So right now it's quite an interesting moment for the festival. It's never dull, you know, maybe because you are getting closer to it, maybe because you are preparing the release. As a head of press, of course, that's the biggest communication moment of the year, apart from the festival itself. So right now we're quite hectic. It's interesting to be there.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that insight. It was really, really useful. I will move now to Monkey Week. So if anyone has any questions about Primavera or anything, don't feel free to put them in the chat.
Yeah, sure. I can spare some more minutes if something wants to ask something. Otherwise, I'm with you guys, and I'm gonna leave. I'm sorry for a short appearance, but I hope
we
that
appreciate any appearance.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, so César, thank you so much for joining us. It would be great to hear more about Monkey Week, what you're looking for in artists, what kind of level you book, and just give us an overview. That'd be great.
Well, Monkey Week, as I said, it's a showcase festival, and we're basically focused on finding new talent. When we started 15 years ago, we started thinking mainly on the Spanish market, but quickly in 3 or 4 years, we started thinking more about the Latin American market. So we just started trying to get bands from Latin America to come to play to Monkey Week. And we've been evolving, and like 6 years ago, we started booking more European bands, and we're always looking for kind of surprising things. We are kind of independent and underground festival. We don't think a lot in the mainstream acts. We always got in mind the kind of pro and delegates that come to the festival, which are looking for these new artists that they can work with and start growing the artists since they come. So yeah, that's basically our idea with the festival. You know, trying to find those things, those bands work that are already under the radar. Of course, we tend to work with bands that already got managers or record labels, but we'll always try to look to those bands that haven't really started to get growing, you know. So that's what we like, and why we decided to make this festival this way, you know, because we like to get the new things, you know, and sometimes we get those bands just before they get big, and it's like, we had them. So that's the fun part, you know.
You're tastemakers. You're the ones that are leading
kind of, yeah.
And what kind of delegation do you have at the event? What kind of offer is there for foreign music businesses and artists looking to engage with the Spanish music scene at Monkey Week?
What kind of delegation? Well, you know, we got all kind of Spanish delegates, you know, mainly, as I said, these independent agencies and record labels and promoters, you know. we got mostly the whole independent industry in Spain. And we made a big effort to start working with the Latin American market and trying to get agreements with festivals and record labels, just to help bring in those bookers, promoters from that market, just because of it seems kind of natural, just because of the language, to start working with them. But in 2017, we got involved in a European project called Ines, and we started to travel a lot to other Ines festivals and visiting other European festivals. So we started seeing that we shouldn't just focus on the Latin American market. We got this huge market, European market,
right here,
which is right here, and it makes sense. So with the help of that project, we started bringing more European delegates and European bands, and I think it's been useful for many of them. It's worked well for some bands that it's not that they got really big in Spain, but they did things in Spain. They could do tours after visiting Monkey Week, and even some bands we know that have been in South America because one of those Latin promoters we bring to the festival. Yeah, so then he liked that band, and he decided to take that band to Mexico or Colombia or whatever. So that's what we try to do.
Awesome. So yeah, it's a jumping off point as well. So it's really, really relevant for newer artists and independent artists, especially. Just quickly before I move to Fernando, can you apply to play Monkey Week? How does it work? How do you get booked?
Yeah. We open an application call around April every year. We receive like 1,000 applications every year around. It's like a tough work to do because we try to listen to every band that applies. It's hard, because it's a lot to hear, and then it's like, as I said, we are a small company doing the festival, and all of us like music, so all of us try to work on that process of selecting the bands that are going to play every year.
I can tell you, they do listen to everything, and there are strong arguments in the office. I've been there.
Yeah, it can get tough, it can get really tough, because when you got one band that you like, you want to get that band in, and sometimes it's hard, because it's not only about the bands you like. There are like many commitments with sport agencies and record labels and managers and stuff. So it's a mix, it's a balance between what you like, what you think is good for the delegates that you get in the festival. So it's like kind of tough. So when you want one band to get in, but the other part of the team don't see that, sometimes get hard, But yeah, that's the way it is. And it's like 70% of the lineup finally comes from that. Then we book some bands any other ways and get to agreements with export offices that maybe with bands that didn't get to the application call, but finally we get them in for some agreement or something. But
that's interesting. 70% are booked through the open call. That's amazing. So really putting your name forward for the open call is a really smart plan if you want to start building audiences in Spain, especially.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, César. We'll have a bit more of an open conversation, but I just want to make sure everyone gets a chance to give an overview of their experience. So Fernando, it would be great to chat to you about BMA, but also Last Tour, because you don't just do BMA, which is a conference and festival. You do lots of other things as well.
I'm generally involved. I'm one of the main bookers who books the festivals. So I take booking Bilbao BBK, and Calorama, and headline shows in Spain. BMA, which is a professional fair, used to have a festival at the weekend, but that's now mutated into having like more of a showcase event around the festival. So there's an international fair during the day, and then in the evening there's concerts in different venues of up and coming acts.
Nice. And last tour, do you do more general events as well?
Kind of, apart from the festivals, we do many headline touring. So like next year we've got announced like Taylor Swift, Idols, Solwax, Coco Chloe, and we work with a lot of local acts.
Nice.
Today, for example, we announced a comedian in Bilbao. So we do a little bit of everything as well. The company's based in Bilbao. The head office is in Bilbao, but we have offices I'm based in Barcelona. We have an office in Pamplona, an office in Madrid, and from early this year, we've also opened up offices in Lisbon and in Bogota. Because from last year, we started doing BME in Bogota as well, as a bit of a bridge between BME Bilbao and BME Bogota, to try and have some relationships with the local acts there and the local authorities, and same with Bilbao.
And when it comes to BME and Bilbao BBK, because you book kind of newer artists for both of those, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of BBK is always like a big festival. It's like a 30,000 capacity festival. So we have, obviously you need the bigger acts, the headliners, to the middle acts, and then we always leave quite a few spaces and gaps for up and coming acts. So there's like the Firestone stage, which is just really for up and coming acts, which is like 3 or 4 acts a day. And then, we always try and bring either a local act or an international act that we think we might be able to grow and develop in Spain. So we use those slots as well to maybe help bring acts over. And then, maybe the first show is a festival show, and then we have a plan to do headline touring after that. BME is more just up and coming acts. At the moment, it's mainly Spain, with some artists from France, Sweden, and different parts of Europe, and also try and have some Latin American acts as well perform at the festival. But it's mainly like more up and coming acts, BME.
Great. So yeah, if you're a newer artist, the BME might be your best bet. And with
I think BME as well, since it's a professional fair, it's also ideal to go and not only play your show, but you can go to the fair and see all professionals who attend there. From there's people from record labels to booking agents to managers, and also like companies who organize tours from production. So it's quite a broad fair. That, I mean, if you go with kind of normally with these kind of things, or at least when I go to these things, you go with an objective, or you go with a band. It's like, what am I looking for? And you can sort of try and arrange meetings or speed meetings with these people and try and find what you're looking for.
And are the delegates pretty international, or are they mostly Spanish? So you'd be like really looking for to develop your Spanish career, or are you able to develop a more international career there?
BBK has a very strong local presence, so I think about 70% is the local scene. Mm-hmm. I think it has a very, it has a wide range of people who go. It's also a time of year, depending on what you do. It's a really good time of year. For example, like you asked from Primavera.
Marta,
from Primavera, when do you start booking? This is like having meetings now with regards to next year is perfect, because you're there presenting your acts. They have you in mind for next year and what slots they can go in and stuff. So there's a strong booker presence. There's a strong management presence. It's really broad. So from what I know, there's like a 70% local presence, but then like a 30% international presence at the event. So it's quite good there.
And Joan is saying that absolutely everyone in the Spanish industry goes to BME every year in the chat. So
I mean, I think with Joan, we've been together to many events and we've done a lot of fairs, and I think when you go to a fair, you really go with like objectives of what you want to achieve there. And I think you put money into it. It costs you a flight, it costs you a ticket, it costs you a hotel, and really you see the results from afterwards, and then in the next coming months. And I do feel a lot of people who attend BME come out there feeling, it's been a lot of work. There's a lot of meetings, but I feel people come out of there feeling that they've achieved something, or there's possibilities in the future, or things that can be done. And obviously, apart from you're in Bilbao, the food tends to be quite well. Luckily, the last few years the weather has been very, very warm. So it's been a nice combination the last couple of years.
Great. Thanks for that overview. Oh, quickly, can you apply for BME or BBK?
At the moment, you can't. It's a booking process through the booking company, and then export officers who also have slots for the event.
So definitely approach your local export office if you're international and looking for to be booked.
We ourselves as well, kind of people sometimes, you know, there's like a Dutch office and stuff. We speak to friends who are in the music industry there. It's like, you know, if you've got bands who you think could work or look into it, you should definitely sign them up, because it will make sense and you get help to come and attend.
Great. Okay, cool. Joan, I would like to speak to you. Just quickly, everyone who arrived late realized that there was a communication error, and we are recording this session, and so you'll be able to watch the full thing, including Marta from Primavera was here before, giving an overview of that. So don't worry about it. But also, if you have questions, please just put them in the chat. We can go ahead and make sure that they are asked. Joan, you are a manager, so you're coming at this from a slightly different point of view. And do you manage mostly Spanish artists?
Only Spanish artists at the moment, yes.
Amazing. And yeah, just if you can give us an overview of like getting artists like started in Spain, like where are you, how are you operating, and what trends are you seeing?
Well, of course, it depends very much on what kind of artist you are working with and what are your goals. So speaking for myself and the kind of artists that I work with, which are basically indie artists, I think it would be important that the manager establishes some connections in Spain. For that, I think it's great to attend both Monkey Week and BIME and meet a lot of people and do some networking there. So you know promoters and people in the industry who can help you. From what Soco said, you've seen that the overwhelming amount of names on the top of the lists in Spain sing in Spanish. So it's a very domestic or Latin orientated market. So the options you have if you want to break your act in Spain is to really work your niche. If your artist is very good at their own niche, be it electronic music or not hip hop, because hip hop is local, domestic, but if they do garage music or psychedelia or pop, then if they have that niche, then you can try and find who works on the same niche that you are comfortable at. And I would definitely go to both showcase festivals, because they are very different, and at the same time they complement each other, and they are you can really meet a lot of people. You would meet everyone for 5 minutes at BIME, and you can have a much longer time with some people you met at BIME at Monkey Week, because it's smaller and the relationships are slower. Then BIME is like everyone is there. It's a great place for speed meetings.
Yes, but these things are it's always a challenge to like build strong relationships at these things, but it is good for making connections.
So yeah, that would be probably my advice, to find your niche and then work it. Not try to come to Spain and try to break like shooting in all directions, because it wouldn't make much sense, in my opinion.
And just quickly, because we've talked about festivals quite a lot and how that works, when it comes to the live industry in Spain, what cities are the biggest focus? Is it just that, you know, there's lots of different cities and you can play a lot of different places, or is it that, you know, everyone goes to Madrid first or something like that? How does it work? I would say,
well, anyone else in the panel can.
Yeah, anyone else can jump in on this as well. We can open it up.
I would say Madrid is definitely number one by far.
Okay.
And then Barcelona, Bilbao, Valencia would be strong cities as well, Sevilla and Zaragoza. But I think maybe Soco and Fernando can contradict this, or César, but I think Madrid by far is more than half, double the attendance in any other city in Madrid, in Spain.
No, I totally agree. I mean, Madrid is the center of everything in Spain, but I would say it's not so real. I mean, even big artists have good numbers in Madrid, but then they go to another small city in Spain and they don't have the same numbers. I mean, they can have, let's say, the bigger arena, the Wizzing Center in Madrid, they can fulfill complete, but then they go to Segovia, for instance, and they don't have the public attendance at the shows. You know that in Madrid we are so many people for everything.
And is the industry mostly centered in Madrid? Like if you were going for meetings or going to meet some of the industry outside of the events, is it mostly in Madrid or is it spread across Barcelona? Because I know that a few of you are in Barcelona based there.
I'd say record labels, publishers are in Madrid. Maybe the biggest Spanish festivals are in Barcelona. Primavera, Sonar, stuff like that. That's been historically like that, but the business is in Madrid.
Yes.
Cool. I have a few more general questions, and again, we don't have much time left, so everyone feel free to put something in the chat. I just wanted to know a bit more about how does the Spanish market discover music? Do you, in your experience, and this can be anecdotal, of course, but like where are they finding new music? Is it Spotify? Is it radio? Where do you think it's coming from?
But are you talking about public or the professionals?
Oh, I mean both. Is it different? Is it really different?
Well, I think it could be different. I mean, because what I see is that I have a surprise every week. Let's say, for instance, during this week and last week, the number one in our top of songs is a non-known artist. I mean, that is having a huge success, not only in Spain, but all over the world with one song. I'm talking about Íñigo Quintero. I don't know if you have a reference. In Spain, it's all over the media. His name is running all over the media because it was a boy that nobody knows from Galicia, not from Madrid. Let's say he's not on the industry, and he's having a very big success. This year, he's having a platinum for his song. I mean, with only one song. So I think public for me now is a mystery, but on the professional side, I think well, all of them know better than me. But
well, Joan is saying Instagram stories. Is that?
I think friends recommendations. That's how it's working lately. The media, unfortunately, are not important anymore unless you are over 35 years old.
Okay.
If you are, then yeah, the media can be important. Radio 3 is still very important for a segment of the population, but for a younger segment, it's friends' recommendations.
Okay.
And that comes, of course, heavily filtered through the algorithm. So in a way, it's a bit of like nobody really knows anymore.
Friend recommendations is a really important one. And also, I guess this is important for when you're considering whether to hire PR or radio or anything like that. Do you find, Joan, especially because you work directly with the artists, like, what do you find is most impactful? The marketing spend, the radio spend, the PR spend?
I think it's like elsewhere in the world that everybody is thinking twice about PR spend. Because media, the few media that are left are completely flooded with incoming email, and they can't really filter everything. So so sometimes it's better to put money on digital marketing than to spend on PR. But at the same time, we're all part of the same. We're all in the same boat.
Ecosystem.
Yeah. So we need the media to thrive, and we need the PR companies to keep working, and everybody needs each other, because otherwise we are slaves to 3 companies. So we are right in the middle of that conversation, I think. And but it's not only a Spanish conversation. I think it's worldwide.
It's a wider, no, absolutely. Someone's sorry, I'm very aware of the time. Someone's asked a really good question that I would love to get your opinion on. So Natalie says, I'm co-producing a nomadic festival next year around El Plano de Granada and Baza. Is there a countrywide festival network or other communities for people to plug into? Are you part of any communities or networks that people can find more information or connections with the Spanish industry?
César can explain about FMA there, and Fernando as well, who's a member.
Yeah, please do. Fernando or César?
FMA is the Festival Music Association.
Yes. Well, in Spain, we have a wide range of organizations from all different agents on the music sector. There is as they say, this association for festivals. Also, there is the promoters organization, which is called APM, Arte, as mentioned, which have managers and promoters, and also people who is doing festival all over Spain.
So yeah, César, this person is asking about communities or networks to plug into to work, but they're working on a festival, but equally, are there any other networks or communities that you're part of that you could recommend to build those connections in the Spanish scene?
Yeah, apart from what Soco said, that are, let's say, the institutional ones, you know, that are based on institutional money and stuff. Yeah, we got this just like, I like what Joan said, that like you get to find your niche, and if you are in the punk scene, you can find many communities working and promoting shows on the underground, you know, on other sphere that is working outside big media or whatever, you know. And sometimes there is where you can find the real band you were looking for, you know. For example, to give an example, in Seville, there's a group called Andalucía Über Alles, which is Andalucía is the region where we live in. And it's a collective that work with really awesome bands that sometimes you will never see them on media or wherever, you know. And they are really good, really good things, and really surprising bands that sometimes are the ones we are looking for example, for Monkey Week, because sometimes they're in the underground, but some of them get to the big audience after going to a festival just like Monkey Week, or a manager start working with them and help them to develop, and they get to touch people, you know, and get to a wider audience, which is what I like, you know, that these bands that sometimes you think that are not doing something mainstream or commercial, sometimes it's not that no one spot that they could get to the big audience, you know. And
yeah,
so absolutely. And it happens in different regions. I know that in Galicia there's also some associations and community that were really strong, and I think it happens all over Spain.
Yes, and we also have a wide or a big network of small venues, I mean, for concerts in Spain, all over Spain. And
what's the network called?
The network is called the national one is called EACEA.
Yeah.
And also we have regional networks.
Yes, everything in Spain we got the national one, but then the regional ones, you know, and like a myriad of. we have export offices in every region, you know, trying to
Yeah,
export
in the Catalan
to
and the Basque.
yeah, the
and, yeah.
Basque, the
Yes,
yeah.
but I think that for artists that want to come to Spain, it's also important to know this network of venues, because perhaps you are coming to, let's say, Monkey Week, and they can call to other venues near Sevilla or in Madrid and wherever in Spain, and they can make a small tour in a small venues, for instance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
it's-
Says
no,
we'll be
exactly.
making a convention in Monkey Week this year, for example. They will be all gathered in Monkey Week, and they will do 2 days of private convention, but you could find all of them there in the festival, you know. So it gets easy to know these small venues all over Spain in the same place.
If any of you have a link for access, then please do put it in the
Yes, I'm
chat.
going to share in a while.
Thank you. I'm really aware we only have a couple of minutes left, so I just wanted to kind of get your final bits of advice, from something from each of you when it comes to understanding the Spanish market, or something you think people should know. And also, I have a quick question. Should people be still, is there still a market for buying CDs? Like if you're a newer band and you're touring, should you bring CD and vinyl with you, or is that not very popular for being purchased?
You should.
Or Fernando.
I think you should, but you know, kind of lately as well, kind of there's been a big discussion about the percentages of merch that some of the venues take a lot of you know, because you're having to put your prices up or down. Obviously, that I think that tends to happen more with the bigger venues, but with the smaller venues, I think a way for an artist to reach its public is also selling merch, going out, selling it themselves, talking to the fans. That's always worked. I mean, have you ever seen a band who goes out and does that? The connection is.
But specifically the formats.
Yeah, totally. Vinyl works.
Cool.
People still buy CDs here. I mean, obviously it's not
Okay.
huge, but it's still interesting to do.
Great. And any last tips, feel free to jump in.
I would say if you want to work Spain, you can't expect to play just Monkey Week or Bime or Primavera, just the one show and then sit down and wait. I think that works for any territory, not only for Spain.
Mm.
So if you really want to work Spain, you need to come several times and to let people know that you are part of the ecosystem and that you want to come over and over and over again. The good thing about Spain is that it's not as focused on the new and the latest fad as other countries maybe. So if you find your niche in Spain, it's going to be there forever, and you can tour every other year and you will have a crowd always. So it depends on how what your interest is in concentrating your strength in coming to Spain or not. But if you find a crowd, then it's very faithful.
I absolutely agree on that with Joan, you know. It's like bands that make it in Spain, it's forever, you know. And you can see that in the lineups in Spain, you know, in the festivals, because you see bands from 20 years that are still headlining the festivals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you get in, I'm not saying that you are going to headline a festival, but if you get in the niche, like Joan said, and you work in the niche, people is going to still want to see your show 20 years later, you know. And so
Absolutely.
so it's worth the effort. It's not easy, but it's worth the effort.
That's great. It's not easy, but it's worth the effort. I like that. Soco, any last bits? Fernando, any?
I think kind of I agree with Joanna and César. I mean, it's about creating a strategy of how you're going to plan long term in Spain, and you know, inform yourself before you make decisions, and you know, plan ahead. You know, this time we want to do 3-4 shows here. Hopefully, the festivals then will pop up, and then you know, you can. You know, Spain is really big. Like we've been sort of jokingly very regional, but it's very rich. Every region has its venues, has its festivals. You know, you can do sometimes, you know, shows in south and then the other time north. I mean, if you're able to pick away and make it work, it can be really, you know, an enjoyable territory to do things in.
Absolutely. And thank you. So there's some questions in the chat, things like what fees are possible for a new band in Spain? And Joan, thank you for answering. And also a question about whether I start proposing a potential tour for Spain. And again, Joan said, go to BMA and network there. If anyone wants to add anything to those. But otherwise, we will.
Yeah, I will say that if you have an artist to develop and you want to develop in Spain, I will definitely have a look of what similar Spanish artists on your genre are doing, where are they playing, which are their numbers, are they on charts or not. So with this information, you can make your own strategy, and even you can. I always say, if I'm from abroad and I saw that Joan is managing an artist that is quite similar to mine in French, let's say, in France, I will contact Joan and I will say, okay, look, I have this artist. Can we collaborate? Can we play in Spain and you come to play to France? I don't know. You have to be like
Proactive.
yes, proactive. That is, and perhaps you can find these opportunities.
Yeah, I wanted to say, as a manager, actually that works very well the other way for me with my artists. So I totally recommend, because Spanish artists are not used to collaborate with artists from other territories that are not Mexico or Colombia or Spain. But collaborations are very much a trend right now. Everybody does collabs with other artists. So I'm sure if your artist, not you as a manager, you need to ask your artist to DM on Instagram the other artist, and then they will speak. And if there's a spark, they can collaborate, and that's a very good way in the market if they have a collaboration. I think as any Spanish artist, unless they are really big already, but if they're a small to mid-size artist, they would be flattered to receive a proposal for collaboration from a same size kind of artist from another territory.
That's great advice. The collaboration is key. I completely agree. When it comes to export or getting into new territories anyway, that's definitely a great thing to end on. So we've gone a little bit over, but thank you so much to everyone for your time today and for giving such a detailed but useful oversight of the Spanish market and also how to get into it. We'll be putting this online so that everyone can find you all again if they have any further questions. So yeah, thanks so much. And I hope to hear from everyone soon. Keep in touch.
Okay, thank you all. Bye.
Thanks to everyone here. Have a great evening.